Hi.
Hey, yo, what's poppin'? Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name's Carson. I'm back. I guess I'm hosting, so cool. We got,
Carson,
and this one is for the Cosmic King, Bad News Barrett. There's the Cat Ren Wave. He requested the Cat Ren Wave tonight.
Cat Ren Wave.
So with the Cat Ren Wave, I'm going to toss it over to one of my co-hosts for the evening, Cat Ren Figures. How you doing, Cat?
I'm good. I'm hanging out on a Friday. Mark said that he straightened right before this, but he totally lied. My cats were fighting right before this. So I need to straighten that. It's bugging me. But hanging out on a Friday. It's been one hell of a week, as I'm sure it has been for everyone. Mark is hopefully making me a drink. I asked him to, and he disappeared. So hopefully he comes back with an alcoholic beverage, but we shall see.
Nice.
I got Baby Yoda hanging out. I finally got my second Baby Yoda, guys.
Nice.
How long has this friggin' pre-order taken?
Forever, man.
Oh, the freaking Mandalorian himself.
I pre-ordered this thing back in like early December. It hit shelves in stores months before I got it. I'm like,
wow.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I saw them on the shelf the other day. I thought about buying one too.
Yeah, so like the one that I did the review of, I had just purchased on the shelf, and I was like, screw it.
Yeah, good decision. Next up, we got Drew Manchu, baby!
What's going on, folks? I just got home from work. We're ready to talk some comics and enjoy this evening. Of course, family, baby. Let's get it going.
Nice. We got coming up next, the 16-time heavyweight champion, The Great Legend Show. What's going on, Great Legend?
Coming at you live, man. Carson, I'm so glad to have you back. The Seawood 19 taking the world by storm, man. Good to be here.
Awesome. I'm going to make him jump back in the stream here. What's up, Chad? How we doing?
I'm doing good. Sorry. I don't know. I hit the back button and it took me out of here.
Yeah,
Way to go.
Gosh, yeah. Updates. This is
way
awesome.
to go.
I can't wait to play with it while you guys are talking. But before all of that, we got to get to this chat, guys. Of course, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. We got Chris Barrett. He's in the chat tonight. We've been chatting up all day on the Discord server, which, by the way, I don't know if Drew or somebody left that down below, but it's in the Modern Men video if you guys can't find the link for that.
I'll update the information down below later.
Thank you. Awesome.
Yeah, no worries.
We got Funk Comics 814. What is going on, Funk? Nice to see you. We also have Backseat Driver 5280. Always like seeing Backseat in the chat. And I believe straight from Japan, we got K Titus in the chat. What's going on, K Titus? Exactly. And then we got EFP, Pages, Film, and Plastic is in the chat tonight. What we got? Fuchsia Only's in the chat. What's going on, Fuchsia?
Fuchsia,
one
half of Married with Issues, man.
Absolutely.
Good gal there.
Nice. All right, so we got a stacked show tonight, but we always got to get. Wait a minute. Thank God he's not lurking under the table. We got Perry Comics. What's going on, Perry? How you doing tonight? But Drew, I want to go and get started with you. We got to get into some picks of the week. So Drew, give you the spotlight here.
Oh, before we do that, I have to click this button right here. And then that's this button right here. Man, a lot of stuff came out this week, guys. I picked up 4 books that I really enjoyed. Death Metal came out. I thought that was pretty darn good, guys. I also got A Man Among Ye. What is that? Is that a super chat?
Yep, well, it's a super chat. You know what that means. I gotta do the new bumper.
Hey, we're best friends. Let's do karate in the garage. Yeah. Hey, we're best friends. Let's do karate in the garage. Hey, we're best friends. Let's do karate in the garage.
$2.
Oh, yeah, baby. If you guys want to be best friends and do karate in the garage, all it takes is a super chat. 100% of those proceeds go to the Hero Initiative. So remember that. I was talking about the fantastic A Man Among Ye. I love that this week from Stephanie Phillips. That was pretty darn cool. And beyond that, I liked pretty much everything I read except for Wind. Wind had some really great art, and it just wasn't what I wanted out of the story. I think that we didn't learn enough about the characters, and it didn't move itself forward enough. and it's kind of basic in its setup. So I probably won't be picking that up. But guys, we're going to talk about death metal tonight, right? So I'm going to go ahead and hold off on that.
All right, good call. Kat, did you get a chance to read anything this week?
Okay, so I read part one. It's been a long ass week for me, but I did get the Artgerm variant for death metal. Wonder Woman looking fierce. I'm not gonna lie, this reminds me more of like Lady Civ or even Angela than it does Wonder Woman right here.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Angela. Absolutely.
But I'll tell you, I did really enjoy this book. I would say the one detractor for me, which is probably going to get me some booze, is
I like booze.
I did not say boobs, but sure. It's probably going to get me some booze. Is the Greg Capullo art is a little too much for me in this during quite a bit of the work.
No, I'm just kidding.
It is like at moments I'm like it's a little too Greg Capullo for me. I wish he had teamed up with another artist and like maybe softened it up a bit more at certain points. But still pretty fun read and definitely enjoyed that cover. I
Can I ask you a question about what you thought about that book real quick?
Okay.
How do you feel about that Bat T-Rex?
That's weird. I honestly love the fact that the Batman put his essence into the mechanical Batman. I mean, the T-Rex.
Rick Martel, the essence.
I mean, it's just
One-time AWA champion.
Hold on.
That's for Chris Barrett. Sorry.
WCW TV champ.
I thought that I thought it was cool, but like, I don't know, the Mage, Bat Mage. Come on.
I thought it was all pretty cool. I think I'm so lost, but at the same time, there's so much about that book I love.
Right.
Invisible chainsaws.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Sergeant Rock just being like a torso.
Yeah. Well,
You know?
so before he went out,
What's that?
like, when did he become the torso?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on in any of this book. I don't know.
And then
Bat Rex, everyone, right
I think
there.
the more you read it, the more lost you are. Carson and I were talking about that the other day.
Question. Why does Bat Rex need a mask?
I don't know. The real question is, can he throw batarangs with those little arms?
I'm going to go with yes.
I'm working on it. They're proportionate.
He's not the T-Rex we need, but the T-Rex we deserve, or something like that. I can't remember.
Like, he's got a straight up mask on. It's got the cowl and everything.
I think it's like painted.
Why does he need a cowl?
Why's he got eyes in his mouth?
Brontosaurus Wayne.
Like, when he starts talking, he's got
You can
eyes.
see
In
when
his
he-
mouth.
Those are probably cameras for the operator of the mechanical T-Rex.
No, he
So he had a
uploaded
little.
Yeah,
He
Red
does have eyes. Though. He does have eyes. Like, look. He's judging.
that
Those
Batman.
things
It's
like
the,
that,
no,
dude.
that's the
His teeth
story.
are judging you.
It's the Batman from Earth, whatever, where he died,
Right.
and he
I-
yeah. Go ahead.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's actually a mechanical T-Rex. It's meant to be controlled, right?
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
uploaded it just like he
His
did in.
consciousness is in it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. That's
I don't
awesome.
know. Maybe that's his soul staring back at him.
And Scott Snyder doesn't
Very
seem like
anime.
one that does a lot of drugs. So like,
Now, Greg Capullo kind of seems like he probably does,
since
though.
we're talking about crazy things in this, let's talk about the 3 Joker dragons.
Oh,
Wait,
some free
wait, wait.
jokers.
The 3 Joker dragons we got going on.
oh yeah, but they were in the first
great.
one.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm just saying.
And the
Where's Mark
Rockets.
talking about crazy?
Mark, come here. Mark, old man, come here.
Oh, Mark.
That's right. 30
Just an
years
old
old.
They
man.
the
want to
other
see
night.
you.
Yeah, happy belated birthday to Mark BKR, turning the big 3-0.
There he is. What's up, Bert? What's up? Put the headphones in. What's up, birthday boy? 30 years old. Boy,
I got a
blasted that
couple
shit
of
all over social media
highlights
the other day.
from the chat while Mark gets settled in here. Not near mint. Our friend Rob Worst said, first of all, F. Scott Snyder
I
for
love
not
Rob
finishing
Worst.
his Justice League run so he could do it here. Second, at least it was cool looking, but overstuffed. I agree. It was overstuffed and cool looking, but that's kind of what I loved about it. It's what I loved about Metal and the Gray Man over across the pond.
I know.
Good to see him there with the Gray Man. Thought Metal was pretty unimpressive. This looks pretty strange too. I was hoping for a comic named after my favorite music would be cool, but I don't know.
No,
I don't know either, man.
Oh.
let's talk about the trailer. The trailer was badass.
The trailer was badass.
I missed it.
I'll get it for you before we get to talking about it.
Good. All right, Legend. Did you get a chance to read anything this week?
I sure did. You know, of course,
Nice.
I've been still reading the Shazam stuff, but I pulled out the classic Marvel Unlimited app because I've got some Strange Tales I've been meaning to read on there. Starting with Strange Tales 101, you know, we got the Human Torch stories that take place in the first part of the book, and usually they'll have a little backup story. Some of those, a lot of those will lead on to Doctor Strange's stuff, but I read Strange Tales 104, and this is the battle. First appearance of Paste Pot Pete, aka Peter Petruski. Big special shout out to Golden Guy's very own JD Comics, who cosplays as Paste Pot Pete at C2E2. Not the last one, but the one before that. But it was a great battle they had in here. It was so cool because Johnny Storm, you know, he was going to the bank. He needed to get a little withdrawal because he wanted to put some money into his hot rod cars. He loves working on cars. And then Petruski was in there, man, robbing the bank. People thought he was some kind of a refugee, they said. That was great. I don't know what the hell Stan Lee was doing. He said there's some kind of refugee. And then so he eventually robs the bank. Human Torch gets a late start on him, and then as he's driving his motorcycle away, he changes the motorcycle for a big old truck that has a big trailer in the back because he breaks into an army base and he's going to steal the latest rocket and possibly sell it to the Reds, you know, the Ruskies, if you will. Sorry about that for that guy on Cat Ren's channel that's Russian or whatnot, but classic Russia stuff, Russia propaganda. Anyway, so he gets the missile, and Human Torch is trying to stop him. But Human Torch runs out of fire. And, you know, back in the day, man, Human Torch just getting his powers in 61, 63, he's still having some trouble keeping the torch lit up, man. It ain't like Motel 6, man. The light ain't always on in the torch's life, man. It goes out in the wrong time. So then what happened was Petruski, Paste Pot Pete, sticks him with the glue gun against the rocket, and something screws up, the rocket comes loose, it fires off into the water, and Human Torch, the human Johnny Storm, is just on the rocket. His heart's racing, his heart is pounding because he knows he's going to hit that water at over 1,000 miles per hour or whatever. But he lights a little, he does that. This is a light of mine. He just lights enough on the finger not to, if he totally flames on, the rocket's going to like explode right then and there. But he does this little light of mine, kind of goes behind. And then he gets free from the rocket and he gets away. But while that happens, Peter Petruski has one little bit of glue left in his gun because earlier in the story, Human Torch threw a fireball and blew the pail or the bucket of glue. And so what happens is Paste Pot Pete shoots the last thing of the glue up at a flying airplane, and he hitches a ride on this airplane, just holding on to the glue string like this. And then finally he has a boat that's docked, and he gets away from the torch. And at the very end, I loved it because it said, it had one of those like cliffhangers. Is this the last we'll see of Paste Pot Pete? And then Human Torch does a question mark in flame. I just thought it was classic Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Dick Ayers on the inking. Just a phenomenal, great story from the 1960s in all of its glory, man. Kick-ass book. So if you have Marvel Unlimited, go back in time on the rewind and read some of those old strange tales starring the Human Torch. You'll be glad you did. Carson, back to you. So
Thanks,
fucking great. I love
Hashtag
that.
digital, man. I can't wait for the episode where we get a chance to finally talk about digital.
We
Chad?
are, man.
Can we do it tonight?
Yeah, sure. Chad, did you get a chance to read anything this week?
I read Metal, and we're going to talk about that. But I my pick of the week. So it's this grill. So listen to this. Not only this is a 3-in-1 from Oklahoma Joe's Longhorn Combo charcoal gas smoker grill, equipped with both a charcoal and a gas chamber, an attached offset firebox, This multi-purpose smoker and grill allows you to barbecue your way. You know, it separates cooking chamber for high capacity smoking, charcoal grilling, and gas grilling. Gas grill chambers features 3 separate burners, each equipped with 12,000 BTUs. Yes, that's 36,000
BTUs.
36,000 BTUs. One BTU
Watts,
side
man.
burner is
Chicken Watts.
perfect for frying pan or a pot with your favorite barbecue sauce. Multiple adjustable dampers regulate the heat and smoke. Porcelain coated and cast iron cooking grates resist rust. Cool touching handles protect your hands from the heat. Professional temperature gauges for accurate and monitoring of both cooking chambers. Firebox door with an air dampener and added convenience for easy cleanup. Bottom metal shelves let you keep your cooking utensils and extra fuel close at hand. Large wagon style wheels made out of steel.
Chad.
Yeah.
What's the catch?
Nothing. I got this today and I was smoking.
Is this your Father's Day gift?
No, that was my birthday gift. It came finally.
Damn, man, that's awesome, dude. I need to get a new one. I
Dude.
just have a
Wait,
beat up
when are we
charcoal
grilling
grill.
out? I'll drive up.
I am so excited about that.
I like
thing.
meat.
I love meat.
I know you like meat, Drew.
I do love meat.
We
You
know
simmer
like
down.
meat.
You simmer down.
We know it, Drew. It's okay.
All
Where's
right.
the beef? All right.
God, I'm gonna go back to that Fogo de
Yeah,
Chao
so that
Baltimore.
was pretty exciting. And
Man.
then
Oh, Chad,
oh my god, that beef place.
did you get your basic bitch straws?
No, did you send them to me?
Did you get some?
I didn't get anything yet.
Okay, never mind.
I have. If I
You'd
got
be
basic,
drinking that line
hold on.
Google with a basic
Hold
big
on.
straw.
I got to go check on my front porch. I haven't been out there. I'll be right back.
Oh no. Well, while Chad make sure his house and his deck isn't burning down. I guess. Well, I want to get into the chat first. I really do, because we got the Mastodon. He's in the chat. Throwing
Donnie.
down that blue wrench, making sure we're properly moderated. So big thanks, Donnie, for joining us tonight. We got Thunder House Design is in the chat tonight. What is going on? Thunder House, Not Near Mint, Rob Worst, one of the best live shows going today. Not Near Mint on Wednesdays. Definitely check out his show. One of my favorites of the week. So definitely check that out. Rob Worst, man, you've been cracking me up since you got here. So big thanks for that. We got Burke Family 54 Comics. What is going on, Burke? Nice to see you. We got Mr. Gretzky 9966. Legend, I know you like you some Gretzky.
Yeah, you know what? He got a brand new laptop. We're supposed to hopefully test it this weekend over on his channel, and he is going to be coming at you live, man, showing Archie, Superman, Fantastic Four books. He's just a great guy. I've known him for about 10 years now, so he's pretty freaking awesome.
Awesome.
I'm chatting with him in the chat right now, man.
We got the newly renamed Scott424. What is going on, Scott? Also, we've got the Gray Man is in the chat. What is going on, Gray Man? Nice to see you tonight.
I'm with you there, Gray Man. Good comment.
There was somebody else up top.
Fire Davis is in there.
Fire Davis is in the chat. What is going on, Fire Davis? And then, Ben Compton. What's going on, Ben? Then Fire. And then, I saw my co-host, Drew's co-host, every Monday, and the host of Andy Given Thursday on Thursdays. Comic Man Andy. What is going on, Andy?
Oh, man, it's good to see him.
W. Rogers, he says, I'm a viewer and staying to the end. Nice to have you for the duration, Mike. All right, so before I let Chad talk about this giveaway that's going on.
Yeah,
we'll talk about the giveaway at the end of the show, though, because we want to save the best.
Well, you want to hype it up a little bit so people know why they're staying.
Yeah, so. Ultimate Fallout 4, man. Don't
tell anybody. Don't tell anybody.
It's on the thumbnail.
It is?
Yeah.
Good job, Chad.
You made it the thumbnail.
Okay.
Awesome. I can't wait to see who wins that. But that's a great book. But some of these books are great. I'll go into my picks of the week here. So Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Every Generation. Kind of cool Mirka Andolfo cover, but a hard pass since this was an $8 book.
What?
$8.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but the cover's gorgeous though.
It's all right.
I'd have paid $8 for that cover.
For $10 somewhere down the line, but $8 hard pass for me. Let's see. We'll talk about this shortly. Actually, I might save that one for last. The best cover John Timms has ever done. Young Justice 15, my boy, Superboy on the cover, and he's the focal point of the issue, of course. But honestly, not a lot really happens in this. Basically, what happens in this is they all get home. Great. So hopefully issue 16, when we get the story with Impulse and Superboy, will be a good follow-up story because it's been a lukewarm story otherwise. But hopefully they maintain John Timms. But a heck of a cover, absolutely awesome. He's quickly growing and one of my favorite artists in the side. Absolutely. Strange Adventures number 2. A great Mr. Terrific read. Okay. Mr. Terrific is basically the star of this issue, and it's awesome. So I'm kind of curious to see, are there 2 Doctor Stranges? Is it 2 different timelines? What's going on?
2 Doctor Stranges. You never know if he's coming from 616 or Earth 1.
You got me, Legend. You got me.
Adam Strange,
Adam
baby.
Strange. My
I
bad.
love it, dude.
My
Good
bad.
book.
I like me some Doctor Strange too. Some of the Frank Bruner.
I wish I had all the Stranges.
Here you go, Legend. I got Shazam number 12.
Good. Yeah. What did you think? I haven't read mine yet.
But at the end of the day, this is a filler issue. As you notice on the bottom corner, Loveness? That's not Jeff Johns. You got Brandon Peterson. Like
that looks like that bad 3D book Chad showed a couple of weeks ago.
It's not from the 90s. Luckily. I saw that in hardcover form yesterday, actually, but I didn't buy it for $3.
Oh,
but anyway, it's
didn't buy it for $3
I didn't buy it for $3. But anyway, Shazam. It takes place before the events of the actual series, and basically, Captain Marvel Jr. Shazam. What are they even calling him a name now? I don't know. But anyway, basically tells Shazam he's still a kid and he needs to be using his powers to be a hero and he needs to be doing more. So what does he do? He's like, I'm going to go help Batman in Gotham. And it's kind of a fun story. But like I said, you'll probably read the whole John's run, skip this issue, and not even know you skipped it. So kind of a pass for me. Maybe my random pick of the week. Swamp Thing Giant Size number 5 for Walmart. So in this one, Sunderland basically gets a hold of Swamp Thing's DNA, and he makes the children of Swamp Thing. So I don't know. Big first appearance probably. Who knows of
he's
the
got
children of Swamp Thing. And he basically wants to use them to harvest vegetables, more or less, and a food source for Sunderland Corp. So Swamp Thing gets a hold of this and then confronts Sunderland, and he ends up actually killing one of his kids. So that leaves Swamp Thing with a daughter, basically. So kind of weird and interesting.
Just in time for Father's Day, folks.
Absolutely. And then my realistic pick of the week, Last of Us Part 2 hit today. I played it for a few hours. It pulls at the heartstrings. Graphics look phenomenal. The gameplay is smooth as ever. I highly recommend it for PS4 owners. It's probably going to do all weekend when I'm not working. So
you know what I highly recommend is people waiting to the very end because we've got a giveaway for you. UF4, it's the place to be, and you never seen it before because it's the first time you'll ever see it here live, Carson. Live. Ultimate Fallout, people. If you didn't know, now you do.
If you didn't know, now you know. We got Bears Rockin' Comics. What is going on, Bears Rockin' Comics? Nice to see you in the chat. He's finally popped up over there.
I know, about time, dude. I have never seen Bear Rockin' Comics in the chat. He may be ready for some of that Miles Morales.
All right, Chad, you want to explain what's going on here? He's on mute.
Chad's on mute. Chad's on mute.
Unmute yourself, Chad.
He's controlling his excitement, fans. He's got some news for you.
I don't have any news. I have no pops. Got nothing. Got nothing till the end.
All right, yeah, we got a whole, we got, just wait around, fans. You're going to love what you see. Damn, to the LEG, to the END. No doubt about it. Cat Wren is here. Have no fear. Mark BKR, the superstar, out of the shot, needs to get in. And let that fun begin.
Pretend like you like me.
I had 4 shots.
There he is.
There he is, Mark, man. It's so good to see you. Mark celebrated his 30th birthday this week, fans. So make sure you give Mark BKR, the superstar, a lot of love in the chat tonight. And also, go over there to Cat Wren Figures and see all the good things he does on BKR Behind the Bar with the best-looking host with the most Cat Wren Figures. She figures this is a good show, and so do you. Damn, Mark, it looks like you had way too many.
You want to explain your drink to them?
It's good.
Jesus.
Frozen apples,
wow.
scotch,
all right,
juice. pineapple juice, and a little bit of orange juice.
Well, you know what they say: you eat a lot of fruit, and then you're gonna poop. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Barrett, you kill me, man.
I love Chris Barrett, dude. Oh yeah,
Spelunking.
yeah, dude.
Who's that in the background? Is that Spider Grandpa?
That's Spider Grandpa.
That is Spider Grandpa, baby.
One of the
What
best.
up, Mikey? Shout out to Mikey.
Spectacular.
Man, I love old Mike, man. Gone.
Man,
awesome.
you remember that time, Mark, when me and you and Spider Grandpa moved the car in the garage in Chicago? What a day.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah.
So, we're ready to talk about some of that death metal.
Death metal, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
so
Throw
I
up
ended
the
up-
horns, baby. Throw up the horns.
I ended up. It's funny because I remember like when regular metal came out, Scott Snyder, Greg Pulick. Yeah, when you read it, you got to listen to some heavy metal music, dudes. And I'm like, so I turned on like the Black Album and read death metal, and it was kind of funny actually. I'll be completely honest. When I was reading this, I had no clue what was going on. I've been reading this Justice League run. I kind of have been falling off a lot of books. I'm slowly coming back in because the stores are back open. I want to show my local shop some support. So I've been buying a little bit more than usual. So I turned on some Metallica. I read some death metal. And at the very least, I had a good time. I was laughing a lot. I read online where Scott Snyder, like his pitch for this was just like, you know, when you read metal, you see a Joker dragon. You're like, oh my God, there's a Joker dragon. Well, in this one, I want tons of Joker dragons. I want them to be commonplace. And it's just like, he talks about escalation. And it's just like, if one thing was crazy in regular metal, there's going to be like 5 or 6 other things that are crazier in death metal. So when you think you've seen it all, they're going to throw an invisible chainsaw your way. So Drew, you said this book was a lot of fun for you as well. So what did you think, buddy?
I agree that like there is definitely an escalation. And in a book that I read a couple of weeks ago called Ludocrats, I thought that was a problem because every character in that book is crazy, and it's to the point where if everything's crazy, nothing stands out. Everything just becomes the same tone. Death metal actually has a way of throwing enough really cool moments at you to ramp everything up again. So like everything's at 11 and then there's a shot of 13 at you every once in a while, you know? So it's like, it's not one note. The one thing that I think has been the dullest thing recently in DC Comics has been the Batman Who Laughs. And man, he meets his end in this and it's awesome. It's just crazy.
You mean
I
King
like-
Batman Who Laughs?
Yeah, pretty much. He's doing this thing. They got this map of the world, the DCU. That's pretty cool. I dug that. And Sergeant Rock starts the book off talking about how life has handed him a shit sandwich.
Yeah,
It's really
it did.
great. And then at the end, you see Batman come and get Sergeant Rock and tell him it's time to fight. And Sergeant Rock is just the upper half of Sergeant Rock's torso in his arms. So there's just so much awesomeness in here that like I can't really even wrap my head around what this is even about, right? I just know that I had fun reading it.
Yeah, I agree. Drew, I wanted to ask you before we move on to someone else. I know you are one of the biggest critics of Doomsday Clock. Why did you think of all of the integration of the Dr. Manhattan stuff in this?
That's where I really got lost because the Dr. Manhattan was mentioned pretty much one big time by Wally West. And I don't like the whole Wally West. I haven't read any of that coming out of Heroes in Crisis. I was really done.
This much.
And that's what I'm saying. And now he's got
Tornado
Dr.
Force.
Manhattan powers all of a sudden too. But he can't stop this. I don't get what's going on with that. And honestly, I think that Snyder turning chicken shit that was Doomsday Clock into chicken salad with this story could be a possibility. So maybe we'll see how it goes. I don't see it being that intrinsically linked, although it's kind of this, I think, is going to be the crisis that relaunches the DC universe.
The anti-crisis.
Right. They say it's an anti-crisis, whatever the hell that is. But they're going to need to do something to rebrand a lot of what's going on in DC right now. And I think that if they're going to reboot everything after this, that might be a good way to tie the big events of the past couple of years all together. Do I care about it? No, I don't care. Like that's, they want to pepper that in for people who read Doomsday Clock and need that. I'm all for offering the people who are fans of that continuity in this book as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was just excited to see. I feel like this is the first book besides Flash Forward I read that actually was like, yeah, Doomsday Clock happened, and this is how they kind of tried to explain like the multiple continuities and stuff. And obviously, because of the mess that was left after that, this was kind of like a great response to that, I think, because this is 10 messes, and I think that's kind of where DC's at right now. So honestly, I'm completely fine with it. I even got a good chuckle when the final Bruce Wayne came out or whatever. I'm assuming that's like Dr. Manhattan and Bruce Wayne combined into this insane whatever's going to happen in issues 2 through, was it 8? I think it's an 8-issue series. I think I could be wrong. But yeah. Oh yeah. And then Chris Barrett makes a good point. I love how they integrated the Black Lantern Corps into this. Yeah. Any
Oh man, that was cool too. I dug that.
That was awesome. I really dug that moment.
Thought it was really well done.
All right, before we go to Kat, because she's been excited to talk about this comic as well, I want to go to the chat because we got Joe frickin' Ryan is in the chat. What's going on, Joe Ryan? Nice to see you in tonight. Says, I'm behind on comics, but still got to catch up. Yeah, honestly, like, I was so confused, like, hopping into this, but yeah, we'll see if it's going to be.
I think you're supposed to be.
Speaking of Joe Ryan,
yes,
the guy that played Merlin in Arrow,
yes,
Captain. Oh yeah, John Barrowman, yeah.
Yeah.
The Captain
he's on TikTok. He looks like Joe Ryan. He does.
I just want to see how long we can be silent for. We got the Mastodon. He's still in the Thunder House Design. Chris Barrett. Oh, guys, thought about Jimmy Snook. I was skipping that. Burke Family 54 still in the chat. Comic Man Andy. The Comic Noob. What's going on, Comic Noob? He's got that Spider-Gwen Venomized icon going on. Nice to see that. And then Gretzky, Fire Davis, they're all still here. They're still waiting.
Oh, Comic Man Andy's reading some good books. He just finished reading Sandman Volume 2, and he's starting on. How about that book?
What was that?
Yeah. What?
Hickman's Secret Wars.
Oh, yeah, Secret Wars, which will be read on Modern Men this Monday night. 10 p.m. Eastern. Be there for the review. And then whatever else we're going to talk about. Maybe Drew will just want to talk about Jonathan Hickman, so we'll make it a Jonathan Hickman episode. Wink, wink, hint, hint.
Hickman is awesome. I mean, Hickman's one of my favorite writers. I have not read it, but I'll probably read it just in time for Secret Wars on Comic Book Monday nights. Modern Men.
That's cool.
All right,
Sandman is so good.
What did you think of Death Metal?
All right. So yes, I already said that at some points the Capullo art was a bit much for me, which I do love Greg Capullo. I just feel like it was a bit much at points. However, there was an answer as to whether or not he can throw batarangs.
Let's put Cat Wren on the big screen real quick.
That's
not Cat Wren.
That's not me. Wow, Cat, you cut your hair short and dyed it blonde. I know. But YOLO, why the hell not? Anywho, so we've got a Bat T-Rex in this issue, which I can't get over the fact that he literally is wearing a cowl.
Oh, yeah, he is.
You can actually see it right there. He's actually wearing like the whole bat cowl and everything. But the question's raised. Can he actually throw batarangs? So he and Wonder Woman have a bit of an exchange, and she's calling him out and everything, calling him a reptile. And he's like, I'm Batman, just like everyone else. Da, 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 da. And one of her questions is literally, can you throw batarangs with those tiny arms? The answer is, they're proportional, and I'm working on it.
I love that. Great
What
line.
I can do is eat you whole.
That's so great.
So don't fuck with Bat-Rex, okay? Because Bat-Rex is ready to rumble.
It's ready to pounce for another ounce of Sailor Jerry.
I know at times, all the Batmen and all of the Jokers throughout are a bit much. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm not hating on the three dragon jokers right there, and I'm really not hating on all the Robins throughout. So it was pretty crazy. We do have one of my boys, Mr. Miracle, is unfortunately all locked up. And Scott Free's not looking like he's getting free anytime soon, which is a little disappointing. But I mean, it's crazy throughout. We've already talked about quite a bit. There's a lot going on here. If you're not current with a lot of the DC stuff that's going on, you may be lost at points. I was lost at certain points, but I feel like this is definitely something to go back and reread a couple times to try to figure out exactly what's going on. Especially, I think Cthulhu Batman is what really kind of made me smile. A little like Kraken Batman.
That's awesome.
We got going on. Like, there's so many just crazy things that are thrown in throughout, and you can't get over it. There's even like a Plastic Man Batman in this.
Great character.
Oh, he's right up there. Sorry. I
Classic.
I like that
there's
Etrick and the
so
Demon
much,
Batman.
right? There's so much in this issue.
Then you get all of those Batmen fighting against like zombies from. You get zombie Jonah Hex in there. Like, it's
Yeah,
awesome.
classic. Yeah, I love Jonah Hex, man. He's so freaking classic, you know.
And we even have a little bit of Lobo action going
Yeah,
on.
the Lobo at the end, that was really cool. Like, who's he working for? What's the deal with Lobo?
He's working for me. I'm
Right
Batman.
here, what's going on? And,
It was me, Austin.
You know,
It was
just,
me. It was me, Donnie.
another thing, one of those little ads, but it's not an annoying Snickers ad like we used to have. It's, stronger by staying apart. Be like Batman. Stay in your Batcave.
I love
Be
Batman.
like Batman, a totalitarian dickhead who nobody wants to be friends with. She just hangs out in the
That
dark
couldn't
all
be
the time
friends,
like
though.
an emo.
Oh, look at Christopher Reeve, though, man. Look at Christopher Reeve.
Be like Mark.
Sergeant Rock, one of Joe
That's pretty
Kubert's
cool.
finest.
Oh
But,
yeah.
I mean, it's
It was me,
a
Austin.
fantastic book. The art for the most part is spectacular. It's a bit much at certain points for me, but it's definitely a fun book. I did love this cover. However, this cover doesn't read Wonder Woman to me. It's way more,
Reminds me of Flashpoint Wonder Woman, just totally different, but maybe more violent.
I'm thinking more like Lady Civ Angela from
Oh,
Marvel,
okay,
personally.
okay.
Like, this looks almost
Comics.
exactly like a Lady Civ cover that I have.
It's probably DC trying to be like Marvel so they can make more money. Ooh.
We're not going there, Ledge.
I
We're
know,
not
I'm just
going
kidding.
there.
Drew should have heard that one. Drew missed it.
But it's a fun book. I really enjoy it. I can't wait to see where it goes, and I'm hoping it gets even crazier.
Man, that's a beautiful cover you got there. I picked up a bunch of these covers too. The covers were great.
There's a
for
lot
this
of
thing.
covers.
I like
That's the
shiny-
A cover, right? The shiny A cover.
Hey, Carson, what's going on in that chat?
Oh man, we got Thunderhouse Design says the ring on a dead person, but they couldn't raise the dead. Black Hand did that part, Barrett. So yeah, good call and continuity there, Thunderhouse. They had to send the ring to put on the corpse. But in this one, Batman, he did Batman-like gimmicks and somehow was just able to raise the dead like Black Hand. So I did catch that as well, Thunderhouse. But yeah, like it was just so much crap
Like
going
Perillo.
on. Just one of the other plot holes you can possibly trip over. We got Joe Ryan saying, Chad, sounds like Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino. LOL.
You got all the covers, Drew, for
Mike
this
W.
DC
Rogers says,
title?
Cthulhu. There's a Dark Knight's
Where's
Death
Drew
Knell.
at?
Maybe a
That
one
was
shot.
Fendi.
Where was
Bring me
featured?
Drew back.
I'm right
Kurt
here, baby.
Family
Drew, I'm right
54 says that Matina cover is the best.
Wouldn't that be funny if you gave all that DC stuff away?
I ordered
All
that
right.
one, Drew.
So,
I
I
can't wait
wanna
to see
talk
how that's
about
going to
this
look at a
book.
con.
Let's go with Chad here, people.
All right, Drew.
No, let Cat talk. Let Cat talk.
Drew, let Cat talk, please.
No. We're
I didn't say
we're
anything.
calm
I
now.
know, I just fucking.
All right, so here's the deal. This
Wolves will get you tonight.
when did
Oh,
this?
and Comics
how long-
Miss Explain. What's
Chad.
up, man? Sorry.
Yeah.
Hi. Continue. It's
Hey,
all
do
you.
the wave. Don't
The
forget your
floor
wave,
is
Matt.
yours, Chad.
So this book started back in when?
What are you talking about?
What this book stemmed from this.
Dude, that was awesome.
Was it 2 years
So-
ago? Or was it
Yeah,
longer?
I think it was like 3 years ago because I actually had I've got the Batman statue. I've got all
I've
the
got
statues.
those
Holy
pins.
copyright claims, Batman.
But here's the other good thing that's coming out. Check out, like you even saw that Newsarama was in there, but now we've got this.
You're a paper doll. I'll fold you how I want. You're not my news. I tie this knot. Scars on my fingers, bruises my neck, crashing my chains, washing my wreck. Scars on my fingers, bruises my neck, crashing my chains, washing my wreck. Scars on my fingers, bruises my neck, crashing my trains, washing my wreck, washing my wreck, washing my wreck. Cut the hands off, kamikaze into your soul. Kamikaze into your soul.
So, yeah,
Yep. Dude, that was awesome. It sounded like I don't know what it sounded like, but it sounded like awesome.
hey, here's the thing: DC fucked up on a couple things. They had to
Mhm.
release a good book. They have some screw ups going on with the distribution aspect of things, but I think this book is going to bring a lot of stuff together. This is kind of the book that, like, I hate to say this, that Jeff Johns and Mick Scribbles did.
Yep, Gary Frank.
It's essentially the book that was supposed to bring everything together, but it was
I
so
love that
delayed
everybody
because
calls them McScribbles now. That makes me happy.
but it was so delayed. I think this is the book that's going to give the opportunity. My problem is I don't know where DC's going. I love the characters. I love the incorporation of all the past. I dig it because it kind of reminds me of this really, really good story back in the 90s of an Elseworld two-parter that Carson and I reviewed about a year and a half ago. If you haven't checked it out, Carson, what's the name of that?
What is it? It was the Superboy Annual #1 was part 2, and I think it was like what Superman Annual #10, or no, it was Adventures of Superman.
Wasn't it just called Elseworlds?
It was an Elseworlds book, but
Yeah, it was an Elseworld.
Sleeper books too, Chad. Those are sleepers.
Yeah, it
so
was
respect
the,
on those people.
Well, Secret 7.
yeah, the Secret Seven, yeah, something like that.
Great
Um,
stuff.
But here's the thing: that
Unite the Seven.
7, yes.
Got it.
Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
so that brings up a point that I was talking to Kat about, like what gravitates you to certain books, and like Elseworld stories always gets me. Apocalyptic stories always get me. Like Age of Apocalypse got me.
Mhm.
You know,
Red Sun, maybe
yeah.
parallel parallel Earths, like Freedom Fighters, Earth X, different stories from different timelines.
What is your big taste, and what like really got you into like certain stories, and what really is the one thing that you're most gravitate? What do you most gravitate towards? What type of stories? Mine is that post-apocalyptic Elseworld type story.
What do you think?
I'm gonna go over to Miss Catherine Figures.
Else. Give me a sec.
Let's go.
I mean,
Let's
you need to
get
go
Cat
first.
in and
I
go
go
to Mark BKR.
You know who's never short for words? Let's go to Drew Manchu.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, you guys want to come to me? I don't have anything to say. What is my favorite like type of story? I like traditional Capeman Cowl stories. I like superheroes fighting each other. I also really dig big events. I know a lot of people get down on like Marvel event books. That's my bread and butter, man. I love Marvel event books. We're going to talk about Secret Wars, Hickman's Secret Wars on Modern Men this Monday. So read all 9 issues. Join us for that discussion. We're going to talk about that. That's one of my favorite events because it was just so vast in nature. I'm super hyped for like X of Swords, which is coming out this fall, late summer, early fall. It's the Hickman crossover event that they're doing throughout all the X-Men books. Super hyped for that. I love events. I think that an event that's a culmination of a long run, something like War of the Realms, is just something I can really sink my teeth into. And I think that letting these stories build to the point where they involve a larger cast of characters is probably one of the better things in comics for me. Probably started with Age of Apocalypse and Civil War. You got great events like Secret Invasion with all these tie-ins, and then people hate all the tie-ins and like, I don't want to buy 30 books. Man, I love hunting down 30 books. That's I can find one more piece of the puzzle, and it's a way I like to collect and also a way I like to read.
How about you, Kat? You ready?
Okay. All right. For me personally, a lot of the stories I like to gravitate towards certain characters that kind of I see little bits of myself in, or I identify with, or I'm like, oh, I wish I was as badass as like Wonder Woman, or as sure of myself as say like Batman is, or as I don't wish I was as much of a hot mess as Snot Girl, but I love Snot Girl so much. Lottie Person is my girl, but they're comics that you can see yourself in, or you can get emotionally invested in. They're characters that draw you to. They're characters that you can fall in love with. Honestly, like you cry when these characters are hurting, and you're upset when somebody screws your favorite character over in a comic. Like there was one comic years ago. It was Batman 40, where they like killed off Batman and Joker together. I threw the comic across the room when I finished reading it, because that comic just irritated me so much. I was like, no, this is not the way it happens. This is not the way it goes. And of course, we had Claptrap Gordon for a hot second there, and he was Batman. And that was not my favorite thing on comics at the time. But me, it's something where I'm able to escape from what's going on in my world. Say if I'm stressed out from work, or if I've got a lot going on or whatever, like whatever. It's my way to kind of escape the real world and enter into something that can bring me up if I'm sad, or I can laugh with, or I can cry with if I need to, like the death of the Robins or anything like that. Me, as far as my collecting goes, we talked about that a little bit. I'm a big proponent of buy what you want and collect what you love, basically. I'm not like big, oh hey, this is this, so you need to get your hands on it. I saw all the covers for Death Metal, and I saw my girl Wonder Woman, and it was a gorgeous cover. I did say that I thought this looked a lot like Lady Civ or Angela covers, and I collect Lady Seven Angela covers because I think they're gorgeous. And I do think this is a great cover. Definitely had to get my hands on it. So me personally, it's stuff that I feel towards, you know.
You know who we never really, he always asks the question, and we need to ask him the question, because this guy is one of the best, the kindest individual I ever known. And like anytime you need to pick me up, this man comes ready, even though like he never breaks kayfabe on the camera. This guy will pick you up, and he's years ahead of where he should with his age, and that's Seawood 19. Seawood, what do you read?
I thought we were talking about Legend.
Dude, what did I tell you last night?
Breaking kayfabe. You never do.
But all I
You're
know
great
is
about that.
before I get into what I want to talk about, you know, we're listening to some Marilyn Manson earlier, which will probably give us another copyright ding. That'll be fun. But anyway, he did this song called Beautiful People. So I want to acknowledge the beautiful people in the chat. So we got Newbie Comics. Says, preach Catrin. He likes him some Catrin figures. We still got Fire Davis hanging out in the chat. Burke family. He said earlier that Last Ronin is his most anticipated event coming up. Same here, buddy. I cannot wait for that one. That's a big one. I cannot wait for that one. We got Comic Man Andy with the appropriate question mark for his comment. We got Gretzky 9966. Chris Barrett, of course, and the Mastodon.
Seriously, Andy is the fact that Kat knows like the wrestling terminology over the past like couple years that we've taught her. She knows what a mark is. She knows what kayfabe is.
I feel accomplished.
You talk a lot about it.
Poor Andy.
Poor little Andy.
Poor little Andy. What is kayfabe?
I'm right there with you, Andy.
Kayfabe.
I missed that one.
it.
That's awesome.
With you.
Don't you dare. You know it.
Wait! Pause the multiverse!
Oh, that's awesome. So going back to your question, Chad, like what draws me at the end of the day, what draws me to these goofy 20-cent fun comic books? It's at the end of the day, it's character. I mean,
wait! You're flashing some heat there, baby.
Oh yeah, should I just
20 cents?
I'll get my answer out of the way. Then in my little screen, I'll just show everything I got for 20 cents because people are waiting for things in the chat. I don't want to take up too much time. But anyway, characters. So obviously, like, first off, I'll use Rael for example. It's just fun to see these characters being thrown into other environments to see how they react to it. For instance, you have Batman, character we all love because he's overcame this insane tragedy that's happened to him when he was a kid, and used that to become one of the greatest heroes of all time. You have Superman, who has the ability to literally do anything imaginable, but yet he's still, his greatest power is that he's a man. And then you have Superboy, who was my boy back in the day, still my boy now, but back in the day when I was a kid, he was the character they basically created to appeal to my 10-year-old brain, basically. So when that Elseworlds tale came out, I got to see like all these heroes and more intertwined in a situation they couldn't defeat at all, basically. So it took 7 of them. I think it was like, the Trinity, of course, Superboy, Green Lantern, Wally West, Flash, no legs, and Metallo, Lex Luthor. So it was just fun to see a scenario where they're put in a no-win situation and they still have to figure out a way to win. Some of my other favorites are Christ, Son, Infinite Earth's, of course, Legend. We've talked about that a ton of times. And a lot of it has to do with all these characters being thrown in together. And once again, they have to figure out how to win an unwinnable situation. And going out of the superhero realm, my favorite read post-2000, it's got to be Why the Last Man. And it really examines like is York Brown, like, is he the manliest guy in the world? Absolutely not. He fails at every turn. Agent 355 has to bail him out of almost every jam he gets put in. But it's just enjoyable to read the adventures of him, 355, and Dr. Mann trying to go across the country to figure out if they can repopulate the earth or not, or just survive lunch basically that day. It's a phenomenal read. And then, of course, Saga, too. Same thing, Brian K. Vaughan. Just seeing this family grow together, face literally an entire universe together. And, unfortunately, in the last issue, faced some tragedy together. A lot of tragedy together. So, at the end of the day, we love the art. We love the covers and that stuff. But the best reads, at the end of the day, they all come from just good characters and great storytelling. So, Legend, I'm going to pitch it to you next, bud.
All right, man. Well, a lot of you don't know this. Maybe some of you do, but back in the 90s, two of my favorite things was basketball and comics, man. I love playing basketball. I love that feel. I was one of the more shorter guys around. I hadn't hit my 6 feet yet, but, man, I could jump high as just all get out, man. So it was pretty awesome. When I would drive to that lane, I would just pump it up high so all the defenders' arms were up high and all that. But then I'd bring it down low, take my 2 steps, and then I would just explode to that hoop and dunk that shit in. A lot of y'all may not know that. Of course, it was a 9.5 rim, but, 9.5. But, I love that stuff. And, when I was playing basketball with my friends and everything, and like I say, we played on a 9.5 rim because the rims were bent, or everyone hung on the rims. So at the community center, they were always like fucked up, but you could dunk, and it was just so fucking cool. And when I would do that, I would pump, like I said, I'd pump the ball up, pump it down and bring it up, elevate and create was my motto. And that's what I did when I took the ball to the hole. Sometimes I'd go around the back and sometimes I'd pass it off. But the good thing about that was when you say elevate and create, the thing you could turn that into comics. Basically, it's those characters, like Carson said, the things you read, the things they do in those stories, the heroes that you root for, they always elevate and create. They always bring their A game to save the world, to save the day. That's what they do when they need to do it. So it's like that light bulb turns on and they get the shit done and they do it strong. But man, so when you're reading those comics, if you have that passion when you're reading about that character and you believe in that character and you believe that character is going to succeed in the story that you're about to read, you'll find out with a shadow of a doubt that that's the book for you and that book speaks to you. When that book speaks to you, of course, you're going to fall in love with that book. You're going to go ahead and get all the next issues coming up because it's got you hooked. You know what I mean? It's kind of like shout out to Robert Galvin there. The book that gives you the hook. It's the thing.
Nice.
It like turns it on. I mean, it's kind of like, and when you read it, man, and you're in that zone. And a lot of times you're all alone when you're reading those stories. I mean, it's just you and the story, and it's what you love. And, like Hippies Collectibles always say, collect what you like, collect what you love, and I showed you that book that I read earlier in the show, Strange Tales 104. All the shit rhymes, and that's the best kind of lines that I can give you in these hard times, because whatever makes you smile, whether it be like someone you watch on YouTube that entertains you, and when you're done watching, you're always going to smile or say, damn, that was a great show. I'm so glad that I caught that show tonight, because these YouTube shows you watch, they're going to speak to you just like everyone on this panel speaks to you about our love for comics. And that's what we have. And that's how we form these relationships, because, together we're like a team. Basically the Comic Corps is a team. It's kind of like Justice League or the Avengers, but you'll find your spot and you'll know that's what you got. And what I got for you today is this Strange Tales 104 8.0 in shiny Mylar, off white to white. It's that first appearance of old Peter Petruski, Paste Pot Pete. And man, sometimes you got to get a taste for that paste. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, man, just collect what you like, love what you collect. Like everyone on this panel has already said, all of those things resonate with me because they all speak to me. Drew Manchu, Comic Corps Chad, Seawood 19, Cat, and Mark with the foods and the drinks. That's how that man thinks. So, just enjoy what you collect, enjoy the shows you watch, and thank y'all so much for watching us live. We wouldn't be doing this show, if you weren't wanting to watch it. And like I told Chad, it doesn't matter if we have one person in the chat or 26. We're still going to be here, and we just enjoy sharing our passion with you. And then in the chat, you share your passion with us. So thanks for being here tonight live on the Comic Core. Back to you, Carson.
All right, thanks for that, Legend. That was amazing. We got the Mastodon in chat. He says he read that DC Superstars 17 this week. It was a fun read. Rob Worst just says, moo. You're welcome, Rob. We got Newton Collect. Collect
Are we
what you
putting
like.
on the pounds or something? Like,
Books that you don't want.
you're trying to tell us, Rob Worth?
It's just expensive pieces of paper then. Otherwise.
Of course, and that is a phenomenal shirt you have there.
Oh, yeah. We're always members of the Bullet Club.
It's
But
a
I got what are you wearing, Drew? What is that?
This is my work uniform, and this is my mask that I have to wear while I'm at work.
Okay.
I walked in, I sat down, I didn't take it off. Why?
That's cool.
You don't like it?
I was like, man, he's going like all fashionista on us.
I got a neckerchief on, like I'm. Right now, I look like anarchist Fred from Scooby Doo. I'm just like all black and a black neckerchief.
Hey, we actually hit that hour mark, guys. So
Dog.
Oh man,
roll soon.
Okay, dog.
Because we don't want to step on anybody's toes because there's so many other shows.
There's a lot of auctions tonight, guys.
And if you didn't know,
And,
there is a ton of shows. So we got to go, right? Is that cool?
Chad's got to go check out those TikTokos.
I got to.
Chad, isn't there something you're supposed to do at the end of the show?
Yeah, so here's the end of the show. Check out Newsarama this coming Tuesday. Start following us on Instagram and on Twitter. There, Drew is going to be running our Instagram page, and everybody, there's going to be a contest that's being run for several exclusive covers, and you'll get them on August 15th. So that's all I got to say. Just tune into Newsarama on Tuesday and read the article. You'll see it. The Comic Core's got something big coming that way. With that being said, peace, God bless, and good night.
What the fuck?